So for this one divine budget challenge on the Amazon, I am going for Poison Lightning Spear build. Alright guys, so why Poison Lightning Spear? Now, just a quick disclaimer, do not play this build on one divine, okay? I do this as a challenge, but it kind of works on one divine. It clear maps really well, and I gotta say it's probably better than going down the elemental and crits route, just because Spear is meta this league. So going for like a niche kind of build with poison damage, and that's a lot easier to scale damage on a budget setup like this. But first, yeah, let's go buy some items, and then we'll talk a bit about the build after. finished setting up the character. Let me just quickly go over, explain the build a little bit. So this is a poison build, poison lightning spear, and we are basing this on Splinter of Lorata, which is a weapons that this league they added Rune Forge, so it is actually a lot stronger than previous league, due to like better base damage. But yeah, we are poisoning with the spear. It always poison on hits, and there's no capping on the amount of poison, which means that we can easily stack this with Stormlance and Lightning Spear, and then yeah, the setup's a little bit different from previous league. In the Jungron setup, he had the glove that add magnitude, but because this spear no longer deal elemental damage, you need to buy original Sin, right? It convert all elemental damage to chaos damage, so everything we hit will poison without the glove. And then we focus on getting flat elemental damage on our gear, mainly from ring and glove, to add more damage into the build. And then yeah, I think that's like the basic idea. And then we are using Reverie setup, so we have really high recovery, and we pair that with, you know, evasion. It's really good. So an evasion character, usually they are prone to one-shot and recovery, which is why you kind of paired that with Ghost Dance and ES before. But now that we have Reverie, then you can go for evasion with high recovery, and it should feel pretty nice in map. Because we are Amazon, we also able to take Asmeri Brew, so we also recover mana, which means that I never really need to have mana flask, because everything I do, even casting spell and everything, I don't need to press my mana flask. So it's just more a QOL kind of thing. But if you can press your mana flask, you can, you know, remove this and you take Predatory Instinct, which is a lot more damage. But this is my current setup, right? Stalking Panther means that we have evasion on all the other 3 Ps, and we don't care about evasion on the body armor, which we don't even have. We have armor and ES here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The tree is for a level 93, but yeah, if you want to run this on lower level, you can, you know, take off a few defensive point, or, you know, these crit points. But and we'll also have that from Nothing Jewels, which is again optional, but it's really strong. It's also pretty cheap. You have ailment deal damage faster, and then evasion. If you take these 2 notes, then they kind of like you have this 70% up at all time. And then for our support gems, Takari means you deal damage faster with per rage. And then we have Eternal Rage and Berserk to add more damage into the build. And then we're running Fork for like easier coverage on the map. And then we're adding Bursting Plague, which add the poison damage, and then it's gonna explode for like Poison Prolif with Herald Blake. And then for Stormlands, we are using Arakali Lush. Now this one have more damage per poison on hit on enemies, and basically we will always do 40% more damage because we can constantly apply the maximum amount of poison, like way more than, you know, this is for I think 5 stacks, right? And then we have Withering Touch, which also easily cap out the Wither stacks on the rare or boss. And then there's Despair as well for adding, you know, the lower the enemy chaos resistance. This is how you kind of scale poison. There's not a lot of things that go on that can scale poison. And then there's Toxic Domain, which is also really nice. So for Toxic Domain, you want to run long fuse, because we are constantly adding a lot of poison stack. It's gonna explode for a lot of damage. You'll see it in maps. And then there's also Wind Dancer for defensive. And then yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. We are running a Scepter, and I'm just adding all these gems in here. I think it's like free. I'm not sure if they are functioning, but they don't require additional spirit if you put it in a Scepter, in case you are wondering. And that is pretty much the character. It is very attribute hungry, so we are going for this wheel right here, which add chaos damage and then attributes. And then I'm also taking resonance, so we can create frenzy charge out of nothing, right? With this particular setup on my previous Amazon character, so you turn into bear form, you use your skill, and you instantly get frenzy charge. That we don't really need to do like rotation between this and throwing lightning spear, because our lightning spear is gonna poison, and then there's prolif. It's mainly for getting frenzy charge, so you can drop these stormlands on boss and do a lot of poison stack and stacking your wither faster. But yeah, that is pretty much the current character. We're just gonna go ahead and do a map showcase in the egg game content. Alright, so for the showcase, we're doing a T15 maps with Abyss, irradiations, and additional revival, because character is kind of squishy. And then, yeah, so I didn't realize that the recording was broken, because my game kind of crashed at boss. So I'm just gonna, like, relock and showcase the second half of the map, I guess. So, from the boss until... yeah, we're gonna do a few Abyss, but we got to the boss, the game kind of crashed, and the recording just kind of like messed up anyway. So for bossing, we are cursing the boss and throwing Stormlands. Try to throw it on the toxic domain, so you build up the explodey on the poison. And you should do a lot of damage. This is 200% Deli. And bossing is just like that, yeah, on one divine. So I'll just do a few Abyss here after the boss fight to see the potential of the build. So the way you play it is you put down Toxic Domain from a decent, like good range and distance, and you try to throw Stormlands and Lightning Spear from there. Right, the build is squishy. It is one divine, so I only have evasion, but at higher budget you definitely can build deflection. So yeah, pull him back into the Toxic Domain, and then the poison is going to Kolov. The Toxic Domain is insanely strong on projectiles build if you can do like tons of poison. And because we do so many poison stacks, we need to have that Monfuse too on the Toxic Domain. But yeah, you play around your cooldown a little bit. I guess it is kind of annoying because you have to play around your cooldown, but if you can play around your cooldown, like if you put down Toxic Domain and you put down the skills from Reverie, you can get a little bit tankier. And for the rest, really, it's just, you know, throwing Lightning Spear on Toxic Domain, you build up these Explodey, and then Poison is going to Kolov. It's also a little bit harder on Delirium map, because you can't just stand in Toxic Domain, right? Because they have like AoE targeting the area, and because you're evasion build, you can't really dodge it. So you have to constantly be moving and thinking about your position. But then again, it is one divine challenge, and I really doubt that you like elemental and crits can actually clear these on one divine. Right, so for single target damage, we turn into bear form to throw Stormlands, build up the stack very fast, and also do a lot of damage. And let me just showcase one or two more Abyss. Yeah, so you see I put down the Toxic Domain there, and then I play around it. So as long as you play around it, that's fine. Your Lightning Spear is only the deliver of the Toxic Domain damage. You don't actually need Frenzy Charge on there. And sometimes, like, I guess at higher budget, you can get more flat elemental damage. And this build scale really well with flat elemental damage because of Ocean. Full amount, okay. Not really any good drops. Maybe one more of this, right? You can see I put down Toxic Domain there, but I have to kind of roll back. So no Explodey, but if I roll in here and then I throw a few Lightning Spear, I can get like the Explodey, which is gonna prolif, and it's gonna like kill the monster pretty fast with poison. And so yeah, that's kind of like how you kind of play this build, right? If you, yeah, like the poison's gonna kill everything. This is part of the poison build where, oh, and also I try Lake Bear, I think. Didn't really work out that well because we don't have that much base damage. So this is like the one of the setups that I think I'm pretty comfy with. But yeah, Toxic Domain is like really strong. This is also Deli after patch too, so I'm not sure if they buffed it or something. But yeah, I'm gonna kill this Rogue Exile and probably call it for the video. I think that's like good enough of a showcase for 200% Deli. Usually this build probably performed better in open layout, but yeah, cause you're not tanky, right? We just have like really good recovery, but if you're taking like huge damage, you can die. That can be annoying for Rogue, like for target that like move around a lot. Usually I'll get him. Single target is basically just Stormlands, right? But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Will be fun for content. Should I do a 10 div challenge, 1 div challenge on different class? I'll have to level a new character. But yeah, let me know. I'll try to stay away from melee. But other than that, all these are pretty fun. I had my fun farming this league and farm a lot of currency. It's actually not bad for farming currency, so I might do like a 10 div challenge. That will be fun too. So yeah, let me know guys in the comments. And that's it for the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.